Hey, welcome to the Version Pamphlet. My name is Rob, and I'm the host of this one-man show. Welcome back to another episode. I hope you guys are doing well today. Today is an interesting one. I think I wanted to explore. Well, first of all, one specific pop star that is popping off right now, and just have a little bit of a conversation also on, you know, what a great time it is to be a pop music enthusiast, I would say, because you know, the summer has been incredible in terms of music. There's so much that has come out. It hasn't been like this in ages. It's just so good. Um, but of course, I want to talk specifically about Sabrina Carpenter because it seems to be her year, together with, of course, Chapel Roman, and Charlie XCX. But I want to talk specifically about Sabrina today because I just find her story very interesting. The way she popped off this year, what what was she endured to get to this point, and how many times she's tried to have a moment, and then how it finally happened this year, and how how beautiful of a moment it is for her, and it's just an incredible story in my opinion. I just wanted to it's a very non-characteristic story, I guess, for a pop star because especially considering where she comes from. But I'll get into that when I discuss the topic, of course. But yeah, first off, songs of the week. I wanna start off by talking about Blue Moon by Nicki. This song, if you don't know Nicki, she is an American Asian, I would say. She's I think she was born in Jakarta, or she was born in Singapore. I'm not really sure entirely, but she is one of the most acclamated Asian acts when it comes to 88 Rising and all that business. So she is incredible. She's a songwriter, of course, first and foremost. So you already know what kind of vibe we're getting into in that sense. She's a very good storyteller and just a great overall writer, I would say. Her lyrics are some of the best I've seen in music in a while, and especially in the younger generation of songwriters, I guess. But yeah, Nicki has, well, the song specifically, I would say, is her second single for her upcoming second. Well, is it a second studio album? For her upcoming studio album, I'm not really sure. I'm not entirely I'm not a super fan, but I've enjoyed her music sparsely in that sense, and only recently have been pretty interested in her. So yeah, she really did that. So this song is I'm not really sure what a blue moon is, to be fair. It must be there must be some astrological or whatever reasoning behind that. But the point of the song is basically the fact that her and her boo are incompatible, and they've met at the wrong time, at the wrong place, too early. Oh, that was loud, but yes. So it's sort of I know it's it's typical. It's a typical incompatibility sort of a track between two people, and sort of reminiscing on the person who could have been the one if things were different, and a lot of that. So yeah, I mean, I think most of all, what I want to specifically talk about this song is the lyrics. I like the production a lot as well. The chorus, it's very minimalistic in terms of production, but the chorus itself has at a certain point some very mesmerizing violins, and it's just beautiful. I like the beat. I like the melodies, but the lyrics, as I said, are the most, I think, captivating part of this of the track. So even the way it starts, take it from the wolves to make it out of the woods together is an art. Like, it's just poetry. We couldn't do such a thing, we were too afraid of the dark, so you drove far, far, far away from the life we built, brick by brick, just until we were swept in the cruelest cyclone. Um, so, you get the point. Um, they were not basically meant to be together. Um, the chorus is some of my favorite lyrics as well. Um, Oh wait, actually, before that, I think it's the pre-chorus as well. It's actually pretty cool. No one's living alone. 4 full laps around the sun. We wouldn't admit that we were done. Now I'm very well. I've just lost the one. So she's lost the one. Like that's the one that got away type of situation. Katy Perry, you'll never be forgotten for that. But and the chorus is like, I'm a. Oh wait, actually that was the chorus. That was the beginning of the chorus. Yeah, the chorus is incredible. So that was the first part of the chorus. Second part of the chorus is, I'm a January baby, you were born in June, an ice cold bitch, but when you burn like noon. Was it written in the cards that I'd lose you? Was it written in the stars that we'd met a little too soon, just a little too soon, on the wrong blue moon? So it's like saying, I think I'm a January baby, you were born in June, and high school bitch when you burn like noon. That's such an effective way of like. That's how you know she's a good writer. Like good writers manage to like turn pretty common experiences and like sentiments and like emotions or situations, like in this case, incompatibility, right? Like very simple phrases, like, for example, we're not compatible, right? They would change that sentence, that statement, and they would, like, perfect writers would, like, manage to communicate that emotion or that sentiment in an unusual way, like in a novel way in that sense. So yeah, instead of saying like, we figured out it like, we were not meant to be together and all that stuff, she says like, I'm a January baby, you were born in June, so like like you guys are totally opposites, right? An ice cold bitch when you burn like noon, and that's also like a way of telling you also their personalities that way, like an ice cold bitch when you burn like noon, like you're a heartwarming person, like a very inclusive person, like very extroverted in that sense. Well, she's an ice cold bitch, which is like reserved, a bit not showing off, a bit of a can be a bit of a reserved type of person. So, and all that is saying that we were not meant to be together, we're too different and all that stuff. So she's so creative with it. She expresses like a very common sentiment in a very new and unprecedented way, and I just love that. It's just so creative. Also, that I like the way she changes the lyrics in the last one, in the last chorus. The 4 full laps around the sun. Once upon a time, we were when we were young. You were really always gonna be the one. So that's so sad. But anyways, very sad track. Go listen to it. She is releasing a new album soon, so best believe I'll try to go to her concert if I can. It's just incredible stuff. Yeah, and I think, of course you can find all these songs in my Songs of the Week playlist on my Spotify. Just search the Overshare Pamphlet, Songs of the Week, and then the month you're currently in if you want to find it. So this is July, right? Now, second song I really feel strongly about is Forever by Baby Monster. Now, Baby Monster, as you may know, I've talked about them like before. Just YG babies, they're just so fucking good. Their skills unmatched. I think they're just like really the whole package. They can rap, they can sing, they can dance. They have the visuals, they have everything. The personalities and everything else. So they're just perfect. I think like they're really top notch in everything they do. Like the name really fits them because they're like super young but also extremely talented. Like I think every single member has an incredible talent that is unparalleled. So anyways, aside from that, this is like their I believe this is like their first pre-release before their full album coming this autumn. Forever is such an interesting track for YG. Like it's at the same, it's already both familiar, I would say, and then also very unusual for YG. Like, it's very poppy and it's very like, you know, 80s synth type of track. At times it does remind me of like As If It's Your Last. Like that's the only other YG track that I can think of. Um, but not really, like not entirely in that sense. Like it's not really the same thing. Um, but it's a very, you know, poppy heavy song, like in that sense. It's probably the first track that has, well, apart from like that, but that has a proper chorus where the girls actually sing lyrics. So welcome to that world. And in terms of genre, as I said, like it's 80s pop, but like that is mostly, and actually solely the chorus maybe, because the whole track has so many different vibes. So it starts off as a reggaeton type of track. I know, follow me with that because it's wild. Starts off with that vibe and then gets so yeah, the intro and the verses are like a bit like that. The first verse, actually, the intro and the first verse are a bit of that. Then the pre-chorus is very like house, like 2010 house in that sense, house music. Reminds me so much of Pitbull. I'm not gonna lie, the entire song, like then, well, sorry, the chorus and the pre-chorus remind me so much of Feel This Moment by Christina Aguilera and Pitbull. It has a lot of that 2010 vibe to it, which is so interesting. I love it. It's like EDM in that sense. And then yeah, the chorus is like 80s synth pop, but also a bit EDM. Very very catchy, very very cool. I also like the lyrics a lot of specifically the first part of the chorus, like maybe it was all a dream, you thought I was yours, don't get it twisted, it's bitter, it's sweet, I'm gonna fly and like live forever, you know. That's like, it's very empowering, very like, you know, I'm gonna take over the world and I don't care about stupid little boys. So I don't know. I just like that a lot. And then we get into the second verse, which is like a rap verse, and it's straight up trap. So we change genre again, and then he gets into the bridge, which is like ballady sort of bridge, very like mellow, very vocal heavy in that sense. And then the last chorus is like an octave higher, repeated of the third of the chorus. So they got an octave higher, incredible ad libs, and then there's that part right before the last chorus, like where Asa says like wait forever, 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 ever, ever. Like that part sounded so much like 21. If you know the group 21, it's also from YG. That reminded me so much of Second Jan for whatever reason, but so freaking good. The chorus is so fucking catchy. I'm not kidding. Like I haven't had an obsession with a song in such a long time. Like this one reminds me so much of the obsession I had for Fancy by Twice back in 2018 or so, 19 was it? Yeah. That I literally could not stop replaying the song. Like as soon as the song is over, I restart it so many fucking times, and it's just that good. It's just that good. The girls are killing it. The verses are insane. The rapping in the second verse, Asa, what the fuck? Like I have so much to talk about this track. It's just so fucking good. The video as well, impeccable. The fit, there's one specific fit worn by Ion, I think. Yes, by Ion, the pink one. When she has striking like red hair and like blue contacts, and then she's wearing this pink dress, and she's like strutting like she's getting paparazzi. No, she's getting photographed for a magazine or something, and then she starts walking towards the camera, like strutting towards the camera with the code, and like she throws the code at the camera. 8. I would call her mother, but she's like 17, 16. Put her on Teen Moms for that. You know, she's a teen mother. She was so good. Her body, I'm not even kidding. Like, in no sexual way whatsoever, but she just looks impeccable. Like, she's so fucking good. She looks beautiful, gorgeous. My girl is killing it. So, yeah, give that a listen. Give that a listen. If you like, if you like Pitbull, you would love this track. That's what I'm saying. But that's one. Um, Have I put Rockstar in it? Oh yeah, Rockstar was last week. Yeah. Um, I want to also talk about "Give It to Me" by Stacey. That's also an incredible track. It's a very R&B heavy track, early 2000 type of R&B R&B track. Sounds so much like a Destiny's Child type of track, I would say. I like the vibe. I've put that type of song in like every single week, every single month. But this song is very cool, very catchy. I love the vocals, I love the production, the guitar, and then the synth and the R&B production. Very cool. It has a very old, like old school throwback type of vibe. Incredible. Um, and then I think I want to put this one as well. Joyride by Kesha. Um, Kesha is finally back. She's back as an independent artist, I think, and she released her first single as an independent artist called Joyride. It's a club type of anthem, like very interesting production. Sometimes it sounds a bit like the vibe is like Western, but imagine Western turned into like disco. So I don't know if that makes any sense, like club anthem in that sense, but it's just very very cool. I love the production; it's the most interesting thing. Um, Very Kesha, very quirky in that sense sometimes, but also new and fresh. I would say, like I've never heard a track like this. To be fair, in terms of production, it's just quite fresh in my opinion. So supporting my girl, I love that track so much. So yeah. And also, you know what? I'm gonna talk about this one as well because I'm also obsessed with this one. "Don't" by Lee Chaeyeon. She's another. That's another K-pop track. I put three K-pop tracks, but whatever. "Don't" is like also very throwbacky in that sense, um, and I just love like there's a lot of um, it has a lot to do with like a telephone call and like not wanting to be called by your ex, but also missing your ex so much. And there are like many sounds that a telephone makes, like the sound of the buttons that when you play, or like the sound of like a phone going straight to voicemail and all that stuff that are used and like interpolated into a track. So that's very like smart in that sense, and also um, there is a lot. This is also like a early 2000. I would say like throwback. It reminds me so much of Kim Possible. I'm not really sure why, but it does. Some of it sounds like a bit of a spy movie or something, but yeah, I just love this chorus as well. So catchy. Dun 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 dun. Call me Charlie. Dun 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 dun. Please call me Charlie. It's just so good. I could see Britney Spears singing this. I don't know why, but yeah, this song ate down. My girl, I know she also ate a choreo. She's so good at dancing. Go watch some performances for this one. It's just that good. So yeah, like what else can I say about it? So cool. Um, but yeah, I want to stop yapping because it's already 20 minutes. I spent too much time talking about Nikki and Baby Monster, but worth it. So yeah, time to get into the actual real topic of the week, which is Sabrina Carpenter's rise to fame. I would say rise to fame, or like rise to stardom, or like pop girl godhood in that sense, or like she. Some may argue she's always been famous. I would say she's been famous, but not like mainstream. I would say like she's tried many times to become mainstream in terms of music, and she's unfortunately never succeeded until now, which is like just a very sweet story. I would say, like, very cool, and she's also in the right age, I think, to be becoming famous. Like, she's not too young, but not too old either. So she's actually 25, I think. She was born in May 11th, 1999. So she's actually technically almost like 1 year older than me, which is very interesting, very cute. I love seeing people my age slaying the house down boots. But yeah, she was born in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, actually. Um, and I think some people may know her for her Disney Channel background. Some people may know her for her, um, her viral Vine like comedic. I mean, you might not know that it's the same person, to be fair, but there's a video of a little girl dancing with a little guy as well, and then the guy lifts her up and accidentally drops her on a table. That's her. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know. But yeah, I didn't even know it was her until some people later made the connection. Or that girl saying to a cat meow or whatever. That's her as well. So you can see from all this that she's had multiple attempts at, becoming relevant in the social media space, or like the, public image space in that sense. And she's always technically been born to do it, or like she had the passion to always do it, but it never paid off fully until now with her incredible track Espresso, and in her more than incredible even more incredible, I would say, like I personally like even more, follow up with Please Please Please. But let's start off with the origins, I would say. So yeah, she was born in Quaketown. Oh, she wasn't born in Philly then. What the fuck? Why? I swear there was a tweet of her saying like she was born in Philly, but I'm wrong. She was born in Pennsylvania, Quaketown, and basically she first started like her passion has always been music in a way. Like she always wanted to be a singer. She started posting covers of Christina Aguilera songs and like Adele songs on YouTube. Some of the like covers, I think you can still find them on YouTube. I think her first videos she put them on YouTube when she was 9 or like 10 almost. So yeah, and then she tried music for so long, and then her breakthrough was technically through Disney. Then she got she started acting as well, and then she finally got signed with Disney Channel in 2013 after auditioning for Girl Meets World, which is a spin-off of Boy Meets World. So she got cast in that as the character called Maya, I think. So yeah, the TV show wasn't that popular, I would say. Like you would have seen it around because it's Disney, so they tried like to put their actors everywhere a bit. But the show itself wasn't really that popular. It only lasted for 3 seasons, and then it was called off in that sense. So they never really followed through with the 4th season. It was cancelled. So yeah, but in the meantime, she did what she knew best, which was singing, and she decided to take advantage of the Disney contract to start having a proper moment as a singer as well. So she signed also with, in terms of music, with Hollywood Records, which is owned by Disney, of course, if you know it. And yeah, she put out her first ever album called Can't Blame a Girl for Trying, which was released after that song with the same name was first released in 2013. Didn't really take much, didn't really get much traction or whatever. She also followed it up with another album under Hollywood Records called Eyes Wide Open, and then another one as well called Evolution. And these were all, in 2015 and 2016. I think her very first moment as maybe like a proper singer, or like where people started knowing her a bit more as a singer, was through Singular Act 1 and Act 2. That was 2018, 2019. That's when she was still with Hollywood Records. But you may know the song Sue Me, you may know the song In My Bed, So that was the singular album split in two. She released one in 2018, sorry, and then the other one in 2019. Um, I mean, even then, the songs never got super traction in that sense. Like, she never reached the Hot 100 ever. At this point, by this point, she never reached like chart success in that sense. But I still remember in those years knowing about her and like hearing about her. To be quite frank, I saw her on Disney Channel, but I never listened to her music. Like the first three albums that she put out, um, were I never listened to them. To be fair, so yeah. But I did listen to Singular one and two, and I do like In My Bad the most. I think through these years you can tell that she didn't really have a proper identity as a singer yet as well, which is like technically fine, but it's weird when you're like in when you're backed by Disney Channel and by Disney and the Disney machine, and you are still not put in a specific category when it comes to making music. It's like at times she sounded like a bit like Ariana Grande. At times she sounded a bit like she was making a Demi Lovato impression. Like Sumi, for example, sounds so much like Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato. So she had, I mean, clearly she's influenced by many pop girls. That's undeniable, of course, but she didn't really have her own little lane or her own like characteristic in music. So I think that's what made it so hard for her to like actually stick out when she was first starting off, and like even it took her these many albums to finally reach success. So yeah, I think things changed for the better when she then decided to switch labels. In 2021, I believe she switched labels. Um, yeah, so she switched to Island Records, which is under UMG, Universal Music Group. Um, and that's the same year when the shenanigans with Olivia Rodrigo happened. So I would actually argue that she was put even more on the map because of the drama that ensued from that situation. And she, like, from all that drama, she did manage to get some attention on her. That's also, I think, part of the reason why her fifth album, well, fifth, or you could call it sixth if you think of the two acts of Singular, but Emails I Can't Stand is the first album with UMG, and that did, compared to the other albums, much better. But yeah, the drama that ensued in January 2021 was crazy, because I think that's the same month when Driver's License dropped, and when the whole lower end of the drama happened. So if you're unfamiliar with that, Olivia Rodrigo dropped her song Driver's License that was basically slamming her ex Joshua Bassett, and in the song she talks about a blonde girl that always made her doubt. To be fair to Olivia, she never really attacked Sabrina per se, but her fans and the general public, because Olivia was having an incredible moment that year, were all up to demonize another girl in the industry, and that blonde girl was actually Sabrina Carpenter, because then some photos and some videos started surfacing of her hanging out with Joshua Bassett and all that stuff. So yeah, so the internet started attacking Sabrina and bashing her and all that. Olivia never really addressed the situation, to be fair, but she was also a teenager at that point, so I mean, don't really blame her for that. But I mean, it would have been nice if she tried to calm the situation down. But yeah, the internet was vicious against her. Like, they were really slut shaming her and all that stuff, and calling her all kinds of words, when we should have gone for the guy, man. We should have gone for the little dude instead of going for the girl, So Sabrina did not have a chance to put her 2 cents in. One, because compared to Olivia at the moment, she was far less famous. So even if she had something to say, no one would have really cared about it, I would say. And also because Olivia did it through music, and she also wanted to put her 2 cents or her story through music as well. So we had to wait until Emails Like Hot Sand, which came out, I think, September, was it? No, sorry, July 2022, actually. Um, so yeah, a year later, we managed to get a bit of a bigger picture of what was going on through those tracks. I mean, also singles, you know, all because I like the boy and all that stuff. They sort of shed a bit of a light on how it felt for her to like be shamed by the internet for something she didn't even really do. Like, she didn't even know this guy was previously dating her. Sorry, her. Well, they were not really friends, but well, she didn't know he was dating his co-star, and she dated him shortly after he broke up with her. But she didn't know about all these like dramatic events, and like she also put her 2 cents of like being completely slut shamed and like shunned by the general public. It was just terrible to witness as well. I remember it was just crazy. People really went after her, which is really sad. But one thing about the general public is that they always change their mind, and now they love Sabrina Carpenter. So, you know, don't. That's a good lesson to learn, I guess. Like, never give up in that sense, and never let you know drama or that stuff bring you down, because people change their minds constantly, and then one minute like they're supporting you, one minute they're gonna hate you, and the other minute they're gonna like buy your music and make you go to number one. So good for you, Sabrina. I think you really deserved that. Like, you deserved the success after all this like shit that came to you unannounced and unprovoked. But yeah, this album did, as I said, like much better than any of her previous albums. The album itself charted number 23 on the Hot 200 Billboard Hot 200 albums. And their songs, also, well, I think the first single, what was it? Actually, Skin, yeah, was the first single, was her first ever Hot 100 entry. Peaked at 48. So yay, that was incredible. And then she also released many more, like through like UMG started also getting a bit more into acting again. She was in Tall Girl too, if you remember. She was in a film called Emergency as well. UMG really knows how to promote their artists. For context, Taylor is also under UMG now, but yes, like they really put a bit more money into her, and like she started getting traction. Even though it's not like topping the charts, she's still getting much more recognition than she did ever in her career. So great. Then Nonsense was another incredible track from probably one of the viral tracks from this album. Peaked at 56 on Hot 100, but it was very, became a staple in her performances, because she kept on changing the outro every single time, depending on where she was performing, for what occasion, what city she was in, even during her tour. She really, they became viral on TikTok, I remember. She kept on changing the lyrics to very corny lyrics, but they worked. Like, they were so funny, they made the moments feel special to the fans. So she really mastered that, I would say. So that was an incredible moment for her. I think it's one of her most streamed tracks as well. Still from the same album, Emails Like Hot Sand. Let me see. She... Ooh. Well... Yeah, I think it's one of her most streamed songs. I think it's like 600 something million streams. So incredible stuff. And then when she released the deluxe version, she also released Feather, which was her at that time her highest entry on the Hot 100. I think he peaked at 21 or something, or 23. Incredible track, very summery. Everyone loved it. Became very popular on TikTok as well. And then she started performing it at several places as well. So what really put, so this momentum kept on building and building. So you could clearly see like there's a trend going up in terms of her singles doing much better, and her becoming more viral in that sense. And then what really put her on the map for good was, I think, a very smart decision also on her part to become an opener for the Eras Tour with Taylor Swift. And when you're basically accessing one of the most potent fan bases in the music industry, and like, you're touring with such a big artist, and her shows are always sold out in front of millions and millions of people. You're gonna be put on the map. Like, there's no way you're gonna escape that. So that was great. So her already two very, like, famous tracks gain even more traction. Like Nonsense and Feather during that tour, received a surge in streams. It was an incredible moment, and the hype kept on building up even more and more and more. And then she did a classic move of any pop girly, like the ones to rise up to fame. She started dating a prominent actor. So she started dating Barry Keoghan, famous for Saltburn and all that stuff. That was roughly the same time. So they became a power couple, boosted each other's, social capital, I would say. And then she did an incredible, masterful move. She went to Coachella this year, and she, previewed a new track called Espresso. Espresso did incredible numbers, peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100 in the US, number 1, I think it was her first number 1 in the UK. Just, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So yeah, when she performed it on Coachella, she went viral again. The song was super catchy. It's very reminiscent of, like, Say So by Doja Cat. It's a very, like, daring and very cheeky track in that sense, and also very sexy and sultry, which really fits her vibe. I think she managed to find basically her bag in terms of songs, but that was not unprecedented. Like, Espresso was not like the first off and was a pure set of luck. Like, if you look at the songs that did much better compared to anything else that she put out, which are Nonsense and Feather, they all share the same je ne sais quoi, I would say, of Espresso, which is that little cheeky moment, a little tongue-in-cheek, silly but also sexy, and that kind of, like, vibe that is basically Sabrina's blueprint now. Like, her vibe is that, like, her sound is that. So yeah, like, she went viral for those reasons. Like, Feather is a very tongue-in-cheek track, very summery, very upbeat, but also very quirky. Her video was so much fun, the one that she filmed in a church. Very quirky, very tongue-in-cheek, worked super well. Then Nonsense, as I said, like, she kept on changing the outros, and all the outros were very quirky and very daring and very tongue-in-cheek. And she realized quickly enough that was her vibe, that was her lane, that was the way for her to, like, top the charts, and so it did. So Espresso went to number 3. It's I think it was it today or yesterday, they announced that Espresso is actually the most streamed track by a female artist this year. So yeah, like, that was incredible. I still remember when, like, Espresso when was everywhere, that everyone was loving it. That's that Me Espresso, that became super viral as well. The catchphrase, so good, so smart, very cool stuff. And yeah, all my friends were listening to it, I was listening to it. It's just, one of those tracks that is just crazy good for the summer. And then she followed it up with arguably, in my opinion, her best track to date, which is Please Please Please. She took advantage of the Eras tour to make some connections into, like, network. And Please 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 is the first track she has with Jack Antonoff, famous producer, that was on pretty much most of Taylor Swift's incredible hits. Taylor Swift, first and foremost, her best friend, but also her most important collaborator. Yeah. So yeah, they produced the track together, and it's a very 80s sort of track. Reminds me so much of Girls Just Wanna Have Fun, dun, 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 that sort of vibe. But it's also, again, very tongue-in-cheek, very quirky. Her line, what was it? Please, please, please don't prove them right. And please don't bring me to tears tonight. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego is another. I beg you to embarrass me, you motherfucker. So she went like very, very funny. And then the video was super viral as well because she brought her boo, Barry Keoghan, acting there with her. And since she also has a history in acting, the music video was basically almost a movie. Basically, it was so good. Um, they reenacted like a little bit of a Bonnie and Clyde situation. Very cool stuff. And so yeah, so she also announced that a new album is coming out at the end of this season. So in August, like August 9th, she's gonna release her album called Short and Sweet. And these two tracks, Please 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 and an Espresso, are gonna be, of course, on the album. So yeah, and oh yeah, and I forgot to say, Please 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 debuted at number one. So that's her first ever number one in Hot 100. Incredible stuff, so good. And Please 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 and like Espresso keep on dethroning each other on Spotify as the most streamed track of the week every single time on the platform. So it's just so funny. She's just dominating at this point. This is her summer, alongside, of course, as I said, Charlie XCX and Chappell Rowan. So yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with it. It's just like a very nice story. It's about like, some people may say like she's an Apple baby. She has industry plans and all that stuff. And I think that they may have tried to do that multiple times and never really worked because they never really could find a lane for her. But she's also, you cannot argue, she's always been very interested in the music, very keen on being a social media person. Like she's always been online. I think I still remember to this day, like she has an incredible passion for K-pop. She has so many interactions with K-pop idols. Like she's that girl. Like she is very relatable. She's very much on the internet all the time. So she knows what she's doing. I think it was only time, like that, this was gonna happen. Like, sooner or later she was gonna pop off. I think she just had to figure out what was the best lane for her. Sure, she was backed by the Disney machine and all that stuff, but it's funny that she actually never popped off until later on. So I think that's why it's like a very unusual story, because usually all Disney stars, including Olivia Rodrigo, they all got super famous immediately after starting off in Disney Channel and all that stuff. She never really quite got there when she was in Disney, and even while she was signed under Hollywood Records. But it was when she changed everything and like went to another label and focused on a different image that she actually managed to finally crack it in that sense. So yeah, I'm very happy about it, and the tracks are incredible. I liked a lot of the stuff on Email I Can Stand. I think in some of my songs of the week I've put some of her tracks there. But I think she finally, even that album was a mix of tongue-in-cheek songs and also some confessional writing that I personally really like from her, because she's very quirky and also in those moments, but those never really go viral or like land because the marketing that sounds is so saturated with Taylor Swift and Olivia and all that stuff. So that confessional writing is already occupied, I think, while the tongue-in-cheek, summery bop, sexy, inoffensive pop sound is free to grab. So she went for it and she succeeded. So I'm very happy about that. I think the album is going to do incredible numbers as well. I mean, she already has two of the most played songs of the summer, and just in general, like she has a number one, a number three, another. So she has two top 10 entries already for this album. So she's good. She's good. She's gonna do great things. And yeah, it's just a nice thing to see the music industry being dominated by women finally, back again. I think it's actually very funny that we haven't had a proper man soloist in a long time. I think the last one that you could probably argue was the big one was probably Shawn Mendes among the new generation. I would say The Weeknd as well, of course, but I think proper new young people. The last one was Shawn Mendes, but that was years ago. He even lost his momentum, and I think it's a sign that talent prevails. I never really I mean, some of the, I'm not to say the male artists are not talented, but I think there's always been a different standard for women performers, female performers in that sense. They always have to do always have to work like 10 times harder than their male counterparts. They always had to. They always had to like be great performers like had to do the extra bit to like grab the people's attention. I think now we're finally shifting towards recognizing that talent and that effort and that attention paid to production and everything else and the image and all that. I think most of the male performers just literally grab a guitar and just go and stand still. They don't really pay attention too much about like music videos, looks, fashion, and all this stuff, and like all the extra bits that all female artists have to go through. So yeah, that's why I think you're seeing so many female artists like finally popping off this year, like Chapel Rowan, Charlie XCX has had Sabrina, Taylor keeps on dominating. We have Billy, we have Olivia, we have so many like great new entries. And I think male artists, if they want to like properly succeed and like if we want to have new male artists that actually do well in the charts and like leave a mark, apart from hip hop, we're not talking about that, but we're talking about pop music here. They're gonna put me in jail. But yeah, they need to like step it up. They need to like start embracing that people now want to see the full package from performers. So that's why I think, for example, Troye Sivan, despite not like really topping the charts, he still made a great impression with his album. And because he really, apart from being queer, of course, period, but also because like he really pays attention to that visual and the production and the performances and everything else. Like he really puts extra effort that other male counterparts don't really do. So yeah, male artists learn from the women, learn and do better. Period. But apart from that, that's pretty much it for this week. I hope you guys have a great week ahead of you, and just have a great time. I hope to see you very soon. I hope to see you in the next episode. Tune in, follow me on Instagram, and it's gonna be everything in the caption of the episode. So bye.